What's up and welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Lou, and in today's video we'll be reviewing Hajime no Ippo chapters 559 to 571, basically covering the entirety of the semifinals of the East Japan Rookie Tournament. With that being said, if you haven't read the manga or haven't watched the anime, there will be spoilers for both, so I would implore you just to click out now. I'll have a link in the description box below in regards to like where you can read the manga at. The anime you can just, get on Crunchyroll, do it legally. I don't know what you're into, but though you have options. So now that that's out of the way, let's just dive right in. The last place we left off in the series, Ippo had just successfully defended his title for the 5th time. Takamura had just won his 2nd world title on the world stage. Itagaki had moved on to the semifinals of the East Japan Rookie Tournament. Aoki and Kimura, well, they're comic relief at this point. Let's just be honest. They don't really have much characters anymore. Needless to say, Kamogawa Gym is eating pretty well. Alright, so we jump in, and this next couple chapters basically is all about Itagaki and his preparation for the East Japan semifinals. So Itagaki, I said in my last video, if you watched that first video, he's a genius. They don't have the same worries they did with Ippo when he first started the gym. Itagaki is not the same character. But this arc is a little different because, well, for starters, he's going into a tournament and his main rival, his high school rival, his, if you were, his Miyata, Kyosuke Imai, is also in that tournament at featherweight. Not to mention his semifinal opponent is the only man to defeat him in the pro circuit. That being Fumito Makino. I think I said that right. Hopefully I said that right. Now there has to be an asterisk on his win because he didn't really win fairly. I shouldn't say fairly. He fought dirty, but he still won. In everybody else's eyes, that's still an L on Itagaki's side. Nonetheless, he's going into this match with a lot of baggage. And it's even worse now because Makino actually adopted the Hitman Style. The Hitman Style was made famous originally in our world by Thomas the Hitman Hearn. The one character that we see utilized the most is actually Mashiba Ryo. It's actually a pretty devastating fighting style. It involves having those flicker jabs just flying out. They're really fast, rapid fire jabs that kind of move like a whip, and they have like no real direction. They just keep you at arm's length. That way you can get set up with that cracking overhand right. A lot to worry about because we've seen 2 of our guys from a Kamogawa Gym go against the Hitman Style before, and it didn't end well. Well, one time it ended well, the other time it didn't end so well because it's such a dangerous style to go up against. Unfortunately for Itagaki, he can't really train the way Ippo or Kimura trains. Even though he's an outboxer like Kimura is, he really can't go the same route Kimura does because this guy's already a dirty fighter and he's really good at his Hitman Style. It's actually pretty damn impressive how fast he picked this up. Comparatively, it's only been like a couple months. So he's actually picked it up pretty fast and pretty well, I would say. So we go into his preparation for the fight and he's amped up. He's focused up. He's really training his ass off. He's not getting the results he's looking for. So he decides to go outside of his gym, and basically it's probably the smartest decision I've seen, made so far in the series. He actually went straight to the source, looks for help through Mashiba Ryo. Now Ryo, I haven't said in my last video, but Ryo is a dick. He is. He's one of those characters. He's layered, of course, but he's also a dick. And he outright refuses to train with a 4-rounder because him being a rookie, he's only going for 4 rounds. Itagaki decides to manipulate him with secrets about his sister. We don't see any of the spars. Okay, we don't see any of the spars between Itagaki and Mashiba Ryo, which is kind of sad because I kind of wish I would have saw that. But we're gonna cut to his opponent now. Makino is kind of portrayed like the same way Ryo is. He's seen as a dick, seen as like the antagonist. Mostly got a huge chip on his shoulder because he is, he's the underdog. He's the dark horse, or they call him a whole bunch of other things. They're just saying that he doesn't have a shot in hell in this tournament. Then like Imai and Itagaki are the ones that everybody's looking out for. Because of that, he's decided to adopt this personality of just being a jerk, really, just being mean and like confrontational for no reason. But he does really work hard, and he's not just fighting for himself. Like I said, Hajime no Ippo has a lot of layered boxers, a lot of layered characters. Some are just dicks to be dicks, but he's actually a lot more than that. So we come to find out that he's actually really kind to this sick boy, Asuchi. I have his name up here. I'm not going to pronounce his full name, but I'm saying Asuchi. We don't even find out what he has, but apparently there's an operation he can get, but he's afraid to get it, and he's using Fumito or Makino as like inspiration to like build, like gain strength, gain courage. Makino's basically Makino's trying to give him courage through his wins, through constantly racking up wins and like showing him like, hey, if you just put your mind to it, if you work really hard, you can achieve whatever you want. It's a good little lesson to teach, anybody, even if you're a grown man talking about manga in your living room. Still a good lesson to learn. But we go right back to Itagaki. I guess him and Mashiba are friends now because they decide to have lunch together and basically start talking to each other a little more, socializing. This is rare because Mashiba's not the sociable type. He's he's not more or less. He is just standoff. He doesn't really talk to anybody like on a more personal level. Like he doesn't give compliments, which he gave to Itagaki, which is still crazy to me, but it is what it is. Mashiba asked a really interesting question of Itagaki about what is he going to do when he gets to the higher rankings of the featherweight division. He's going to eventually have to fight Ippo. He doesn't really answer him, but that is something that's going to linger in his head, as well as the fact that Ippo doesn't see him as a pro, which we find out in these series of chapters is something that's really weighing him down. Like the losses do affect his motivation and affect his performance, but not nearly as much as Ippo's words of telling him he doesn't look like a pro. And at that same point, Ippo overhears this, and Ippo's a good boy, so Ippo doesn't want to like hurt anybody's feelings, and he didn't mean anything like he didn't mean it in a confrontational way or mean it as a disrespectful way. He didn't mean it like that at all. Actually, he was trying to like encourage him to train harder, to work harder, to get to that pro status, to build himself up. But I guess his words were just misunderstood. We don't get any pageantry, we don't get any weigh-ins, we don't get any face-off, we don't get any trash talk. We go right into the fights. It's the semifinals of East Japan Rookie Tournament. The Speed Demon himself, Itagaki, over on this end, and we got Fumito or Makino. I'm keep going back and forth. I can't decide which one's easier to say. We got Makino on this side, who's known as the Weed, because despite harsh living conditions, a weed will still grow despite any kind of like hardships, which is a pretty cool name. I didn't think so at the time, but this is actually a pretty cool name for him at least. It starts pretty much how we expected, with Makino really throwing those flickers out, keeping his distance from Itagaki, not allowing him to step in at all, trying to utilize it to set up that cracking right. And at first it really does look like Itagaki's in trouble. He's having a real tough time with the Hitman Style. We've never seen anybody actually outperform the Hitman Style. It's actually rare. It's an offensive style, and those flicker jabs are fast. It's like a whip. Like when it comes out, it's really hard to like really dodge it because you don't really know what direction it's coming from. You have to have either a sixth sense or ultra instinct, something. But Itagaki, at first we thought he was in trouble. He actually wasn't. The reason why he was taking so long before he counterattacked was because he was trying to get Makino's rhythm down, because his reach is so much different and his rhythm is slightly different from Mashiba's. Went to the master, like the master versus like this journeyman. Yeah, he obviously made a really smart decision. Itagaki is just 6 steps ahead of him, not 2, not 3, nothing like that. He's 6 steps ahead of Makino. Makino stands no chance, and he is just getting brutalized. He is getting victimized in that ring. Meanwhile, Asuchi is just freaking out because he's seeing his hero in there getting punished, just brutalized. He just doesn't have an answer for anything Itagaki's got. Itagaki is dancing around him. Itagaki won't give him an inch. And eventually it gets to the point where he decides he's going to try to cheat, but he just can't. He can't cheat because Asuchi's watching. He's just like, I just can't do it. And he gets so frustrated, he tries to throw any kind of wide combo or anything he can just to touch him. All he wants is to hit Itagaki just once. He's completely outclassing Makino in every aspect. Makino decides to sneak in some cheaty, some sly, dirty box in there. He throws a wide hook that misses on purpose, so he come back with an elbow and try to hit him in the throat. Well, Itagaki dodges that, but he had another plan because he decided to fall forward and headbutt Itagaki. Itagaki was ready for that. He focused up with his glove, blocked the headbutt, and then Itagaki just said, you know what, I'm done playing with you. And he unleashed the hedgehog. A lot of translations, like variations. Like one says it's the hedgehog, another says it's the porcupine. I'm not really sure which one is more apt for this. I think the hedgehog sounds cooler, but that's just me. Makino had no shot. That Hitman Style, and he worked hard. He actually did train to get that Hitman Style to like pretty damn close to perfection. He redeemed that L that he took initially, which is a huge moment for him. This is like the confidence boost that he really needed. Ippo was feeling that too. Ippo's like, yeah, he did it. And like, I don't have to tell you like a pro because you already are one. Go to Amai's match. Amai kills a guy in like 1 round. He had like, they have to have the rival do something way more impressive than our hero of the story, Itagaki. Am I 2 body shots? This guy's got. We don't even know the guy's name. I don't know the guy's name. I didn't want to look it up. I was like, he's some bum. 2 body shots, he was done. Ippo is going down there to congratulate him and tell him the words he's always wanted to hear, where the coach is sitting outside. And this is kind of my beef with the coach. I don't know what his thing is. I don't know why he doesn't like giving congratulations. He feels like it's going to hinder his fighters. I don't get that. Sometimes words of encouragement, like real words of encouragement, can help them get better. But I don't know. Come guy with me got beef. I'm gonna let it go though. Ippo explains to him what he was gonna say to Itagaki, and for some reason, don't ask me why, he convinced Ippo not to tell Itagaki what he really thinks of him. Tell him just to say, "Hey, good job with the match," and that's it. Basically, not giving him the encouragement he needs. More of that nonsense. And Ippo, just does what he says. But yeah, that's the semifinals. I'm sorry this video is all over the place. I recorded this like 3 or 4 times. I just couldn't get my thoughts in one video. It was pretty good. It was pretty crazy. Itagaki is slowly starting to rise up on my list of fighters. I still think he's below guys like Sawamura and, well, honestly, Masha Rio. Rio's still cool to me, even though he is a dick, but I just like his style. So these next couple chapters, I believe, are going to focus in on Ippo, and I can't wait because he's been injured for, let's say, going on like 2 months after his fight with Sawamura. So hopefully we get a pretty damn good fight from him. I'm hoping. Thank you so very much for clicking on this video. And if you stuck to the end, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you like the video, as well as subscribe. And yeah, I hope to see you soon in the next video. We'll review chapters 5-something, 72 to onward to see what's going on. Anyway, thank you so much for staying.